Hey, hey! Hello everyone, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. How is everyone doing? Today is Saturday. Another day, another stream. Okay. So, welcome everyone. So we did a stream yesterday. It was pretty good. We did some progress on the planetary system map. Okay, the mini-map where you can see the actual planets in the planetary system, and you will be able to see also the position of your starship. Okay, couple things. So that's great. Okay, and so yeah, basically I am going to I was going to stream a bit earlier today because of course it's Saturday and I don't work today. So hey, Kilo 000. Thank you for the follow. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, first of all, I want to say thank you very much, Haile Neg, for the follow yesterday, and Kilo for the most recent follow. Thank you very much. So we are just starting the stream, okay, and yeah, basically we're going to continue with the thing we were doing yesterday, which was the planetary system map. Okay, let me show you really quick what we achieved yesterday. Okay, and yeah, I was saying that I was going to stream earlier today because it's Saturday and I can start the stream a bit earlier and finish it maybe a bit later. So there's a possibility for me to stream longer on Saturdays. Okay, but but yeah, the thing is, I was doing other things and I just started the stream, so yeah, it is what it is. Anyways, let's see this. Let me show you really quick what we achieved yesterday. Okay, so we have this minimap. Okay, we have this, which is basically, if you see it in game, okay, you have your starship here, you can navigate, okay, blah blah blah, and here you have the mini map, so you can see like your actual position in the planetary system, okay, all the time, so that you can know where you're going, and if you want to go to any planet you can go there. Okay, so that's the idea. And what we were doing basically is I used a formula that Ciala, a regular, like a follower from the channel, sent yesterday and helped me with that. It's a really cool formula for using this value. So this is an idea I had. I was thinking about like having the orbit and the planet be to be able to set the position of the planet using a value from 0 to 1, being 0 the start point, which is in this case you can see all of them are in 0, and then 1 all the way around. Okay, so all of the positions are represented in percentage basically. So for example, I can grab the orbit number 4, which is this one. Okay, and I have this value here, which is just for testing, but this is going to be set procedurally when we create the star and say, okay, the star is going to have blah blah blah, that amount of planets. Then each planet is going to define a random position along like in the orbit, okay, in its orbit. That's the idea, okay? So now this is really cool because I only need to set this value, which represents the entire orbit, okay? So I can use this value that goes from 0 to 1, and it basically wraps around, okay? That's amazing. So I can just say, okay, this one is going to be in 0.3, and then this one can go there, and now this one can go here, for example, there, and that's it. I can leave this one there, or I can set it here, for example, or maybe like a bit lower, like there. I don't know. That's the good thing about this system, is that not only I'm going to be using the same formula for setting the position here in the minimap, but I also am going to set the position of the planets in the actual scene, which you can see here. For example, I have one planet here, which is this one. Let me show you like this. There's a lot of stars and things, so maybe the compression in the stream is going to be a bit crazy, but you can see that I can position this planet wherever I want, and this is using a system for parallax that I created so that the planet is not like in the same plane as the starship, okay? That's the idea. So if the planet is here, for example, and I say, okay, I'm going to go to that planet, okay, I can get there really fast because it's just here in this corner, okay, in this upper corner. But you will see right now that since I'm using a parallax system, you can see all of the layers that are moving slower and slower the further away they are, okay? And the planet is on one of those layers, and now it feels like the planet is really far away. So in the normal speed, it would be really hard to get fast here. The idea is that maybe one of the planets is close to you, okay? But the idea is that the planets are going to be, there's going to be one here maybe, and then another one here, and then another one here, according to where the hell they are in the actual orbit, okay? So that's the idea. That's the idea. So that's cool. Okay, that's really good. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing right now. Okay, there's a couple things we could do. First thing we could do is start setting the actual position of the planets, which is something that should be really easy because really quickly, let me check my audio because I'm really quickly, let me check. Yeah, it's all good because sometimes it happens that my microphone, the device on Windows, it's set to another input device, and sometimes I start the stream and I talk and nobody can listen to me because OBS is not capturing my actual microphone. But yeah, that's why I always check my audio when I start the stream. So yeah, anyways, I was saying that basically there's a couple things we can do right now. I would do something that's really fast and easy to do, which is just add a variable to the actual planet class. Okay, so let me show you really quick. Definition planet. Okay, so planets, well, that's the thing. Okay, I have to do some refactoring on all of the systems. Like I have something in the project called definitions, okay? And those are basically classes that contain the properties of each thing in the game that gets created procedurally, okay? So, for example, let me show you really quick. Definition constellation, okay? So the constellation has a set of properties that I need to to be creating, when I create a new constellation, I need to create a set of properties that are going to be defined procedurally, okay? And then those properties are going to be like accessed from other things that need to know what those properties are, okay? So, for example, I have this subclass inside constellation that is called basic constellation properties. So what does this have? This has, for example, the coordinate of the constellation. It has other, like a list of grid positions and star positions to define where each star is placed in the constellation. Then it has the connections. I can actually show you this in a visual way because I have a board where I drew all of this to design how this would be, basically. So if I open this up, you can actually see here, for example, so a constellation basically has like a grid of positions, okay? You can see this grid. The stars can pick one of the positions in the grid, and then another algorithm is going to make connections between them, and that's a constellation basically, okay? Stars that have connections between them. And so all of that information is basically saved in this class, okay? It has, for example, the constellation properties class also have the star, has the star list, has a list of the stars it contains, of course. And then, so this is basically like a tree, it's like expanding, okay? Well, you can see in like from top to bottom or the other way around, but it's basically a tree where everything has its own properties. So when we create a constellation, it is like a list of stars. And what is a star? So stars have their own properties, which is frontier, which is something that we're not going to be talking about right now. But for example, it has a seed, okay? This is the seed that I use for generating everything procedurally. It has a name, it has a color, it has a bunch of things that are needed to then create the star, okay? And there, like a lot of those things are basically created in runtime, okay? When you start a new game and you go into a new constellation, that constellation gets created, and then when it gets created, it creates the stars, and each of the stars creates the planets, okay? So there we have the Phoenician planet, and the planet can have a size, okay? The planets have a shader, have a sprite size. They have biomes, they have the terrain, sky properties, where it's a lot of things that each class contain, okay? And basically that's the idea, okay? So that everything contains its set of properties that need to be defined somewhere, okay? So what happens with this? There's a problem, okay, which is that first I was using some like recursive referencing that was like causing some issues. That it wasn't a good practice, it was not very good, but like, for example, planet, you can see it has a reference to the star seed because that planet, each planet belongs to a star, so it needs to have like a reference to the properties of the star, because there's a bunch of things that need to be that the planet needs to do, and it needs to get some information from the star, okay? So I was doing like, I was like creating a variable of this type in, hey Nevo, thank you very much for the follow, thank you. Wow, Lots of follows today. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm starting to suspect some weird activity, but yeah, I don't know. Those 7 to go. Yeah, let's go. Oh, you can see the chat is bugged there. Always the first message is like overlapped with the second. But yeah, if you send a message again, it will be fixed. So that's crazy. A bunch of follows today. That's cool. Also, how you doing, Dot Shirley? What's up? So yeah, basically, I'm basically explaining a lot of things here from my code and trying to explain that yesterday I was having some issues with the thing that we're doing. And yeah, so I want to, I don't know if I want to fix that yet, but yeah. Good, just 0, 1 to draw. I don't know what that means. You just want to draw? I don't know. Good. So it's been a long time since you sent like like drawings or anything to the Discord. Yeah, I'm too lazy to draw. Yeah, it happens. I have some like sometimes like for weeks I have like a rush that I'm like too excited to draw and like everything, and I start drawing a lot, and then it fades away, and then it's like I don't draw for months. It's like crazy. So yeah, I think it happens. It's like the motivation comes and goes. So yeah. Anyways, so what I'm basically doing here is in the planetary system, I'm just creating this, which is like creating this manually just for the purpose of testing. But the thing is, this is not creating actual planets. Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah. It happens all the time. It's really hard to like maintain the motivation and the inspiration. It's really hard. But yeah, if you want to keep drawing, and for example, if you have like an objective to improve or whatever, you need like a lot of discipline, which is the hardest part. So yeah. So I'm trying to like yeah, I was trying to like do this and avoid this, because this was giving an error, and that's because when the planet got created, when the planet is created, then it gets like a reference to the seed, to the star, okay? And then when it wants to access the star properties where it belongs to get some information, for example, here I think it's I don't know where it's being used at all. I think it's here. So in that case, it basically yeah, it's like whatever, it's trying to access the saved universe, but there's no saved universe because I like implemented the save system already. It's there, but I'm not using it right now. But I think I could use it because it's pretty functional if I remember correctly. So I think I can do that. So I will try to just do that, okay? And here I think I should use this, because I'm passing the actual like star properties reference, which is passing like an entire class, and I don't think that's maybe that's fine, but now I'm just going to pass only the seed. So with that is more than enough, and then it can have like a reference using the star seed. It can access the actual star. Okay, so that's great. Then what else do I need to fix the thing? So oh yeah, in definition star there's planetary system properties, and this also has this thing. And when I was creating the planetary system, it was basically accessing the star properties here, and I think this should go this should use star seed here. So yeah, instead of passing along the entire class of star properties, I only pass the seed. So every object that has access, that is created, will have a reference to the thing that it belongs to. Okay, so planets will have a reference to the star, stars will have a reference to the constellation, and so on. Okay, so yeah, I think that's pretty good actually, and I think now I can just try to remove this and hit play here. Like I can do this, I think. Yeah, I can actually just remove this because I don't need to be saving it, I think. And then another thing I can do, which is the thing that is easy, but I don't know. There's a lot of things here that I would want to like put inside a class called, for example, basic planet properties or something like that, because there's like stages where the actual things in the universe get created. So for example, you have when you travel to a new constellation, you will see the cinematic like going to the constellation, and at that moment the constellation gets created, and it creates all of the stars, but not the entire thing, because it has a lot of variables and stuff. So it will create like a basic set of properties so that it's not too heavy. So because if we were to create everything at one moment, it will like take ages to load. So that's not great. So we are basically trying to chunk the creation of the things. So yeah, so that everything gets created at a proper moment. So that's the idea. And now this, I think I should, so yeah, all of this can be in that class, I think. The thing is, I would need to refactor a lot of things because this has like a lot of references. For example, size. Yeah. Okay. So I could do that right now. I think I'm going to do it right now. So how am I doing that here? For example, inside class, the properties class. Okay. So yeah, I can just create a new region. Okay. So I should maybe like create a region here, and I could create another region here. Okay, basic planet properties. So it would be similar to this, and yeah. So so yeah, for example, here in the constellation, the basic properties is a class that defines the grid positions, the star positions in the grid, then the coordinates, the star connections, and I have all of these functions that are doing the actual logic. So stars count is all of this code defines how many stars the constellation has. So all of this is basically a logic that does like a probability curve thing and all of that. Then the star positions, I'm using all of this code to define where each star is going to be positioned, and that's of course random. Then the connections, all of this code is for the connections between those stars, which is also random too. So all of those things were things we were doing in the past months, and that's working pretty nicely, so that's amazing. So I want to do something similar to the for the planet. And I think that the planet, for example, all of these things, except for this, I think, should be, well, maybe sprite shaders should be something. Hey, Ciala, how you doing? Good evening and afternoon and and every time of day. How you doing? So yeah, I was going to say that maybe sprite shader should be its own thing, but it could be in the basic properties because before actually entering the planet, we need to have like this the properties of how the planet looks. Chilling out, that's good. That sounds good. I ended up like starting the stream a bit later. I was going to start the stream like a couple hours ago, but I ended up doing other things. So yeah, but it's all good. We're here streaming, chilling. That's great. So, so yeah, let's move this. Composition properties, planetary system info. So yeah, I could move all of these things into their own classes. So I'm basically trying to like separate the things. Yeah, I think I should do. Okay, that's great. So this is complaining because it needs the actual constructor, and that's all good. And now, how do I define the actual planet name and size and blah blah blah? There's a couple of ways I could do that. So I have this, which is going to be the normal constructor, and then I'm going to have another one, which is going to be for setting the actual thing. But I think I'm not going to have like yeah, I have two constructors for most of the things because I was doing I have presets. So for example, I have a planet preset with a bunch of data that's like defined already. So I can say, okay, I want this planet to be blue and have the pink clouds and to be really big, so the maximum size it can be, and I want it to be at I don't know. So all of the data of the planet, I can set it manually in the presets so that I can test actual stuff. But in reality, planets are going to be created procedurally. We are going to have like planets that are pre-created or predefined for special cases, for example, in the game. So maybe you can encounter a planet with a specific name and there's a specific set of things in that planet, and that can happen in all of the playthroughs. Okay, so any player is going to can encounter that planet, and yeah, but most of the planets are going to be created procedurally, so that's the idea. So yeah, that's great. that sounds good. Okay. So we can see here, for example, start seed, I need to blah blah blah, and then for example here, sprite shader and all of those things, I am basically going to be defining in this class I created. Okay, I'm going to copy that there, also going to create this there too. So instead, what I'm going to do here is say, I'm going to have a variable called basic properties. Here I'm going to say basic properties dot equals new, and I can pass the lemur there. Okay, so that's amazing. Pretty good, pretty good. So we're moving stuff from one place to another so that everything is a bit more organized. Okay. Now this is a constructor. I was mentioning this just now, that this is a constructor I'm using for basically defining everything with a preset. And I'm actually thinking that I can do that manually later. Like maybe I don't need a preset for this, but you can see here, for example, I have like other classes that are getting created, and those also have a constructor that receives this type of variable, which is planet preset. So I don't really know what I'm going to do with this right now, but for now, the only thing I need is just what the hell? So yeah, I have a lot of comments. How can I comment this without the other comments becoming this is so stupid. Well, I would have to do this way, I guess. It's really weird because it should like add like another, well, I don't know, doesn't matter. I can just comment the things that are complaining, so that's easier. Okay, so perfect. So now we have all of this data here. Now the thing is, there's a lot of things that we're accessing those variables, so now I have to fix all of the places where this is going to be broken. Okay, so let me go here into Unity, and now when it compiles, it's going to show all of the errors. Okay. Okay, there's only one place. Okay, that's weird. So I would say basic properties dot size. Okay, that's it. So it seems like, yeah, the only place I was using the size was there. Okay, that's good. So we have sprite shaders, sprite size. Yeah, sprite size, I think, yeah, I know what I'm doing here, and I'm going to change this. But yeah, this is not the actual thing right now. So what I want to do is have another variable called something like public. Oh yeah, and it has to be a range between 0 and 1. And this is going to be, guess what, Ciala? This is going to be the position in the orbit, okay? Okay, position in orbit. So now, how do we define the position in orbit? We simply say lemur, lemur is a kind of random library. Exactly, angular position. That's exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to call it position in orbit because it's more like suited to what it really is. But yeah, it is the angular position. You're correct. So Lemur is a system that it's a really good system for generating random numbers, and it uses a seed and blah blah blah, the same way every random system works. But Lemur's system is really good because it wraps around itself, so that's great. So I have the library to generate numbers, and now I just have to say next float, and it's going to be between, why is it not showing me? That is what I want, between min value and max value, and that's going to be between 0 and 1. That's it. So basically this is really good because now I can when I initialize the planetary system map, I can go here, and when I set up the orbits, instead of setting 0 here, which is the actual position of each planet, what I can do is basically grab the actual position in orbit. Okay, so now when I initialize the orbit, I'm passing through the real position of the planet in orbit. So now what should happen is when I hit play, in the minimap, it should show all of the planets' position randomly. Okay, so maybe we get some errors that we need to fix, but this should work. It should work. So yeah, this is a pretty long thing. We can improve that, but for now this is fine. I won't worry about this too much. I start worrying about this when it gets like too far to the right, so that I can't really see the line. But yeah, orbits, the length is a list. That's an array of this. Let me show you. On what is that for looping? So yeah, the UI orbits is this. This is basically an array. It's a list of the orbits, and the orbits are these things where we set the t value that we can assign to set the position of the planet that we were doing yesterday. So that's basically the orbit, and the planetary system map has a reference to all of those, and it's stored in a list. So I'm going through all of the orbits, but I'm basically then doing an if so that every orbit is going to get deactivated, but then depending on how many planets the planetary the star has, is going to activate the orbits and then set the actual position of the planet. That if smells. So yeah, this is basically so that only the orbits, like I will only enable the orbits if there's a planet. Otherwise, the orbits are going to be disabled. So if the star has like 2 planets, I won't activate the other 2 orbits because it doesn't make sense. Though I don't know if I'm going to leave this. This is not final though, because I also want to be able to determine, like, each planet should be able to determine or define how far from the star they are, and that's basically defining which orbit they have. So right now, the only thing this is doing is that it's going to use always the first orbit, the first, the second, the third, so like from inner to outer orbits, and yeah, so I'm basically manually defining that all of the planets are going to be always closer first and then farther and farther away from the star. And for now, maybe that's fine, but I'm going to change that. In fact, I can change that right now, but I want to test this if this works. Oh no, I knew there was going to be an error. So universe constellation, what's the error here? What? Star properties dictionary, star properties.seed. So maybe So what's happening there? So here I'm creating a new constellation, which should be this. This reference is constellation system. What? Oh yeah, I'm using this one. Is that dictionary for storage serialization saving? Yeah, I have two lists, which also is not the best way of doing this, I guess, but I have a star list, which is a regular list, like an array that you have the indices and blah blah blah. But then I have a dictionary, which is I don't know if you're familiar with dictionaries in C#, but basically a dictionary is a list, but instead of using indices, you use something you define here. So a dictionary is a list that contains objects with a key, and you can access the objects with the key instead of an index. So in this case, I'm using an uint, which is exactly key value. Exactly, yeah. So I have two lists for the same purpose, kind of, but I actually have this dictionary because I'm using the actual, like the seed of the star as the key for each star. So then I can access easily the star. So for example, I have this function here to return the star by seed. So I use this function and I pass the seed of the star, and then I can return the actual star. So that's the idea. And I'm using this in all of the classes that are like below in the tree. So for example, constellation creates the stars, and stars creates each planet. Okay, so planets will have a reference to the star seed they belong to, and the stars are going to have a reference to the constellation. But I don't create a reference of the entire class, like an object, like an instance. I only use this seed so that then I can retrieve it from, for example, from here. Is your context for planet stars? Exactly, yeah, exactly. So this planet will, when you create a planet, it asks for the star seed. So the star is going to say, okay, I will create this planet, have my seed, so you know which star is yours, or not yours, but which star you belong to. Hey Ragnaro, how you doing? Let me show you. Do you want to see what I'm doing? Oh yeah, I have to I have to fix this first. But yeah, I'm basically finishing this minimap. Well, not finishing, but kind of making some progress on here. Yesterday we were able to actually position the planets along the orbits using a formula that Ciala handed to me. It was really kind, so that's great. But yeah, right now it's broken, but I can show you if I do something like this, for example, and say, I think I can do this. What else do I need? 0 and 4, I guess. If I do that, it should work, I guess. Let me show you really quick. If I hit play here, you can see now all of the planets are in this position 0 of the orbit. But here, for example, I grab the orbit number 4, which is the biggest one, and I can move this value that goes from 0 to 1 is like a percentage, okay? 0 to 100. And it's basically using a formula to be positioned alongside the orbit, which is really cool because right now I can create the planets and set their position in the orbit randomly. That's amazing. So now we can have something like this, for example. You enter the star, okay, you enter the planetary system, and you're going to have this minimap here in the bottom right corner of the screen, and you will be able to see the position of the planets. And also, I will see if I can do that too, but I want to also track the position of the starship, actually, so your actual position, so that you can see all the time where you are and you can navigate to the planets and always know their position and stuff. So that's the idea. That's what we are doing right now. And I think that's pretty good. So, I was trying to actually create the planets because this was basically hard coding the things and it was just for testing. Will the planets have the rotation times or not? Like the time to go around the sun? Oh yeah, so that's something we were discussing with Ciala before. And so yeah, we were thinking that, well, I was thinking that that's cool and it is immersive. So it's, of course, that's immersive and that's pretty good. But I think for now, the easiest thing is will be to just set the planet's position and leave it there, and so it doesn't move at all, never. And just because it doesn't like what's the word? It's not like giving anything to the actual gameplay. It's just like, oh, instead of going, so for example, let me open up where is the thing here? So this is an example I did. Oh, I saved this with, oh my god. Okay, that's okay. So this is basically what I want to do. You can see here, well, let me know if you see it, but here's the ship, okay? Here's the starship, and you can see the planets. And oh, maybe it's going to be cleaner if I show it here. So let me know if you see it properly, but you're not going to see the actual orbits, of course, because that's something abstract. But when you navigate to a planet, one thing is that the player is, okay, so this planet is always here. Like, this planet is going to be here. I could be wrong though, but generally, when you're in a place that you want to go then in a planet or to a level or anything, if you think about planets as levels, okay, you say, okay, I'm going to go to the closest one. So then you you start going there, okay, you play in the planet and blah, blah, blah. And then you go out into space again and say, okay, I want to go to this one, but now this one moved all the way here. So it can be confusing. It is immersive and it's going to feel good because in the sense of this being accurate to how planets work actually in real life, because they would be rotating like along the orbit, okay, around the star or the sun, whatever you want to call it. But like in terms of gameplay, it could be a little annoying sometimes, because maybe since you need fuel to move between planets and all of that kind of thing, let's say you have two planets that are conveniently close to each other. So let's say this planet is here, okay? And you say, okay, I'm going to go to this planet first, and since this one is really close, then I can go to that one then later. And that's really convenient because I won't have to spend a lot of fuel going to a new planet, and I can get a lot of resources and blah blah blah, okay? But like, if we do the thing where planets are actually moving in the orbit, then like if this planet was here, for example, and you were in this planet, then when you go out into space again, this planet might have moved all the way here. So now you have to go all the way there, and you will be spending a lot of fuel. You will not only spending, but needing a lot of new fuel to go there now. So, and your current planet will move too. So maybe when you went into this planet, it was here, but maybe after you finished playing, it moved all the way here, and this one moved all the way here. So that could be like not very convenient. And I'm thinking that maybe it could be something interesting, because maybe now this planet moved here and this one moved here, so now it's not very convenient to go there, but maybe this one now is closer to this one, so now you can go from this planet there, because now this one is closer. So yeah, I'm thinking that that's something interesting to explore, and I could definitely do it. And we have the system ready to do that, okay? Hey Lou! Hey, how you doing? I always send a heart because she's not watching with audio, she's always watching from their phone. So yeah, it adds some space exploration mechanics thinking, yeah, so it's like, it is a new mechanic, and I think that's good, that's great. But like, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's something to consider after we finish doing all of this system where you can travel in the planetary system and stuff. I think maybe it's something to think about in the future, not right now. The thing is, I want to stay simple as long as I can. Enabling it is really minimal. Yeah, it is. It actually is really minimal. And yeah, so in any case, if we were to add that feature in the future, then it will be really simple to do it, because the system is already prepared to handle that really easily. With all the tools we have right now, it shouldn't be hard at all, honestly. And also, it's not heavy, like intensive for processing or anything, because it's just moving a sprite in a scene. It's like really simple. So what it will take is basically just making this, for example, each planet move like this. Okay, I'm doing it really fast, but imagine planets would move like this, like around the star, and that would happen really slowly. Okay, that's the idea, but this is literally a sprite, is nothing else. Well, it has some shader and stuff, but it's not something as expensive to do. So yeah. Anyways, that was my answer. It was like 2 hours long, and now I can move on. Okay. Yeah, I talked too much, but I guess that's fine. So now let's try to fix this. I don't know what's happening with this. Let's first comment this, okay? And let's also comment this thing, and let's see what's causing the errors. Okay. Oh my god, really? Do you talk that much? I think I would talk a lot more, but I don't have a lot of time usually when I stream. Like I stream for like maybe 2-3 hours in average. So if I were to stream, let's say in some day I get to stream full time this, which will be really good. Imagine if I stream for like, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours. My throat would be like destroyed after the stream. You'd be surprised. Well, I think it's cool to talk a lot. So let's hit play here. Oh, and also I'm going to turn the lights on because maybe 1 hour from now is going to be really dark in here. So yeah. Argument, exception. An item with the same key has already been added. What? That's weird. Why is it being why is it adding what? Universe, constellation, star properties.seed. What? UID are sequential. So the UID is in reality is a seed, and the star seed is being generated. Where's the error? Let me show you really quick. So two initializations with the same seed. Yeah, that's what seems to be happening, which is a bit weird. Here, so it seems like the seed is being repeated for some reason. So yeah, this is weird because you can see here Star Lemaire is basically creating oh, wait. But this wasn't broken before. Like in the actual like Starfield scene where I create a new constellation, this is not broken. So I don't understand what's happening here. And also I don't need to be doing this all of the iterations of the for loop. You're creating the Lemaires. Yeah, so this is being used from each star, and the cool thing about the Lemaire system is that each time you use this, which is next int, is going to basically give you a random integer. No, it shouldn't be happening. So it should be creating a new integer every time, because that's what this function does. Basically, that's the whole purpose of the Lemaire system. Every time you say next int, is going to give you a new random number. But if you use the same seed and you like repeat the same steps, you're going to get the same random numbers every time. So that's the good thing about it. So if you use the same seed, you're going to get the same results. But you had the construction of the Lemaire in the 4. Yeah, I had it there, which didn't make any sense because I'm creating the same every time. Oh yeah, so that's the problem. You're right, I'm so dumb. So I knew that this was bad, so I moved it here, but I wasn't thinking that, yeah, that's correct, because I'm creating a new one every time, and each new one is going to give the same number because it's the first number all the time. But now it makes sense because now it's going to get created once, but now each time in the for loop is going to say next int and next int and next int, but it's going to be at the same Lemaire all the time. So yeah. Seems like I'm blind. I don't know. Give me one moment. I'm going to turn on the lights. Okay, I'm back. So, so yeah. I don't know. Sometimes I'm just blind or too dumb. I don't know. But yeah, the thing is, I created this constructor to create a constellation completely randomly, and I never used it until now. What I was using before was this. That this is not being created completely procedural, it is receiving this already, and that's because like when you go into, let's say you start the game, okay, and you're in a planet, whatever, and you go and find a new constellation, okay, so that constellation has to be already created beforehand. And that's basically this basic constellation properties that contains like the most basic things of a constellation, so that you can find the constellation, and then when you actually travel to the constellation, then the whole class gets created, so that we are basically chunking the creation of the information so that it's not too heavy for the processing and for the memory and stuff. So yeah, this is what I'm using, what I have been using, and this one I never used it, so now I see that it had this thing which was bad, because we're creating 20,000 planets. Yeah, actually we're creating more than that, I think. So yeah. So it doesn't make sense to create everything in the same moment, because it's like doesn't make sense, because you might not even explore like a third of those planets. So I'm only going to actually create the complete thing once you enter that thing. So when you enter a constellation, I finish creating all of the data of the constellation. When you enter a star, I finish creating all of the data of the star. When you enter a planet, and that's basically how it works. Now it should work, and I think I can do this now, and also this, and yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's see now. I didn't know we were doing systems of stars. Yeah, let me show you. I'm going to show you really quick what I'm doing with the stars. So, okay. So yeah, this. Let's see what's happening here. Oh, I know what's happening. First of all, I have to remove this because I'm setting the position of the planet every frame here, and it doesn't make any sense. I'm going to also remove this. And orbiting twin ID. Oh yeah, that's for the animation. So yeah. Now let's see here. It should work now. The only bad thing is that it's being created with just one planet. But yeah, let's see. Well, now that I think about it, it should be random every time. But yeah, you can see now. So it looks weird because there's only one planet in this star. And you can see now it has like a position set there. So if we go to planetary system and we open up this, you're going to see all of the information for the planet, for the first planet that got created. But here there's a lot of things that is not created yet. That's what I was describing before, but the basic properties, those are being created. So you can see that the planet name, Satmail Cleon. I don't know if you can read that because it's a really small text, but I have a procedural name generator, and so it has a name, it has a size, it's a size of 4. It has like the sprite size is like depending on this actual size. Position in orbit is 0.12 to round it up. String compression cuts many pixels. Yeah, I think like in addition to string compression is that my stream is capped at 720p because I can't stream in 1080p, but on Twitch, sadly, I am not yet an affiliate, so Twitch is not going to let the viewers change the quality. So my stream has only one quality available. So for that reason, I basically started doing streams in 720p. It's at 60 FPS, so that's good, but I will have to wait until Twitch decides to enable the other qualities for my stream, so that then I can go and change the output of OBS for this. So yeah. In any case, you can see here the basic properties were created perfectly. So that's amazing. Nice to know. Yeah. I'm not loving that. Like, it's okay for Twitch, but the problem I have with this is that on YouTube you can like set other qualities, but since I'm all outputting 720p from OBS, then Twitch and YouTube, both streams are at max in 720p. So that's okay, but the thing is, all of the streams are getting saved in YouTube in that quality. So yeah, it's not amazing, but it is what it is. At some point I will be able to change that. I know I can use, for example, another configuration in OBS to send a different output for YouTube, for example. If I want to send like a 1080 for YouTube and 720 for Twitch. But the thing is, the current setup I have in OBS right now is really convenient because I just have to press 2 buttons and that's it. So I have just one OBS instance. And yeah, it's really convenient and easy, to be honest. I don't want to change that, so I think it's okay for now. At some point I'm going to get affiliate and yeah. So let's hit play again. I want to check if the planets, the constellation is always the same. Yeah, I think it is. So where is this? I can close this, and so constellation new and new. So yeah, basically I can set a seed here. For example, I can say random the range between like 0 and int the max value. That doesn't work. Uint. Yeah, because the seed for the lemur has to be a uint, an unsigned int. So yeah. But now every time we should get a different planetary system with like different amounts of planets and different positions for each planet and all of that. So let's check that. Okay, it's not happening. What the hell? Planetary system. Yeah, it's always creating the same. Oh, I'm so dumb. So yeah, Oh my god, so I'm just going to say new here. I know what's happening. I know what's happening. Okay. One seed to random them all the same way. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So if I create the constellation by like passing a basic constellation properties, it's going to use like another seed for the stars. So you can see it here. If I create completely randomly the constellation, so that it takes care of creating the basic properties and then the stars and blah blah blah, it uses the same lemur all the time. So every time I hit play, it's going to run this code, and this is going to be the same always because I have like a seed for the stars. And yeah, the steps are always the same. But if I do it here, then the stars are going to be you can see here, so single star seed is going to be lemur.next int, so it's going to be different every time. So let's check that. Okay, hit play now. We might get some errors, maybe, I don't know, we shouldn't, but let's see. Okay, so this has 2 planets and you can see them positioned there randomly. That's amazing. Let's hit play again. I could actually like rerun the same code so it gets created again and again and again. So this one has 1 planet. Let's hit play again. 2 planets. That's great. Now, there's a couple things we could do right now. Well, it seems like every star has like 2 planets. Is the AB for the ellipsis random or incremental? The AB, are you saying the actual position of the planet, or I don't know what you mean. Let's test again. The axis A major and B minor, so they are not random. Let me show you. I don't know if this is what you mean, but in the orbits I have the size, which is, this is A and this is B basically, and it's not incremental. Oh yeah, I think I know what you mean. So are you referring to the actual size of the orbits? Those are fixed, and I'm basically setting the actual size in pixels here. Yeah, exactly. They are hard-coded, yeah. And I don't think I'm going to make them like with a formula or incrementally or random, because I want them to be hard-coded. So yeah. And yeah, I think that's totally fine. So this constellation, this star has 3 planets. Now I'm going to do something right now, okay, which is something I was thinking about doing before, which is setting a probability curve of where's the thing? Here, planetary system. Okay, so here I'm going to use the same thing I used in the constellation, okay, the same strategy, which is a probability distribution, okay? So this is the curve I used for the constellations. Constellations can have between 3 and 7 stars, okay? That's a fixed number that I chose. And this curve basically defines that 3 and 7 star constellations are the rarest ones, okay? The most uncommon ones. So this is amount, and this is probability from 0 to 1 to 100. Okay, so this is basically saying, okay, so 3 has 0, well, not 0, but like 0.5 or 1% probability. Then 4 has like a lot more, and 5 has the most probability, and then 6 has less, and then 7 again has less. So I want to use a similar thing with the planetary systems, okay, with the stars, so that I can define with a curve the probability of how many planets there are in a star. Okay, so for that, what I need to do, what I could do is basically, where the hell can I do this? Okay, I can maybe do this here. So I'm going to draw the same thing. This is probability. This is 0 to 100. And the amount is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. But in this case, I can draw a 4. I'm using the mouse for this, that's why. In this case, I want these two to be the most common amount of planets. Okay, so I want there to be like most of the stars are going to have 3 or 4 planets, but then some of them are going to have 2, and like very little amount of stars is going to have just one planet. Okay, so that's going to be something like this. Okay, that's basically the kind of curve I want to use. So something like this. And this is, I think, it's like what's the name of this? It's a sine curve. I think it's a sine. Yeah, I think it is. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do right now. Okay, so for that I have to go here to the definition star, blah blah blah, and here I have to define the amount of stars, which is defined in this class, which is the planetary system properties. Okay, so here, well, it's not here, it's here, planets count. So where the hell am I setting the number? Here. Okay, so define planetary system properties. Okay, so here I should actually remove this, and I should comment this so I know that I should use this method. Log of x. Yeah, maybe that's what I have to use. So I did the algorithm for the constellation for the amount of stars. Okay, and that's, where is this? Stars count. Okay, so this is the code. Now, I'm not going to just copy this and paste it because that's dumb. What I'm going to do is add this to my utilities library. Okay, I should basically have like a static method that does the algorithm, so I can get a number, and the method should have like a sample count. I think this is the sample or something like that. Then I should have the curve I want to use as a probability, and that's it, I think. So let me check here what kind of things am I using. So this is the curve, okay. This is the amounts list. Well, I'm just using that list and just grabbing the ones that have like a lot more oh yeah, I know what I'm doing here. So this code is basically doing this. Let me show you with a really simple drawing. This code is basically grabbing like a bucket, okay, and we have entries, okay. So we have entries, which is in the case of the planet is going to be 1, 2, 3, and 4, and each one of this is going to be an entry, okay. So now what I'm doing is saying, okay, so 4 is has a lot of entries because the curve is determining that there's a high probability for 4 to come out. So then I'm adding like a lot of 4 in the bucket. Then I'm adding a lot of 3s in the bucket. And then I'm basically shaking the bucket and saying, okay, give me one of the numbers. So there's going to be like maybe a lot of 4s, maybe a fewer 3s, and maybe 2, 2, and 1, 1, okay? So there's a lot of entries for those two, so that's more, there are more chances that those two are going to be picked, and there's a really low chance that you're going to pick one because there's only one here. So it's like a basic, I don't know the name in English, I know the name in Spanish, but it's a really basic concept. So that's what I'm doing basically. Now I need to like move this into a I need to move this into a function. So let me open up utilities class, and here, where can I add this? Extract slice from texture, get predominant color from sprite. Yeah, this is I just saw a typo and I couldn't resist it, man. So blah blah blah, get mouse, remap, rotate, create, blah blah blah. Okay, there's a lot of things. So I'm just going to go here and say public list int. Now the thing is, this is only going to work from, well, in reality, you know what? I could just return the int. So get random number with probability. Okay. So what do I need with this? Let's copy this code. I need this code. In fact, I'm going to just cut it from here and just paste it here. And for this, I'm going to use Lemur. Yeah, I think I should use a Lemur. Well, anyways, because I need to use a system that uses a random picker, because here you can see I'm picking like a random index from the list. That's what I'm doing basically. Okay, so amounts list blah blah blah. So here I should only say utilities.get random number blah blah blah. Okay, and I would need probability curve. Okay, and what else do I need? So this is table constellation. Okay. So I need normalized I. Oh yeah, I need a mean and a max. I need a mean and a max. So okay, that's going to go here too, and this is also going to go there too. Stars max. Okay, perfect. Now here is this, here is min, and this is max. Okay, so what else is this? Stars. So this is basically going to be min plus max divided by 2, and stars amount values. Going to be called values, remapped entry, amounts list, blah blah blah. So for this, what I need is a lemur. Okay, so I'm going to say lemur. Okay, so basically I'm going to say return amounts list lemur next int between 0 and amounts list dot count. Okay. Oh yeah, it needs to be static. That's perfect. So now basically what I need, oh yeah, this is get next int. What's the difference between get next int and next int? Oh, because this is basically returning, well, I don't know what's the difference. Oh, it's the same thing. Okay, whatever. So oh yeah, and this should be -1 because it's inclusive. It's minimum inclusive and also maximum inclusive. So yeah, that's it. And now when I do this, I'm basically going to say here, I'm going to say utilities dot I'm going to save those in variables so that it's not too long. Now it's going to be get random dot helpers with probability. Now it's going to be min max probability curve, and lemur is going to be lemur. Okay, so that's it. That's amazing, because now we reduced all of the code here. Now this is basically one function I can use wherever I want, and this code is much easier to read, of course. And now I can use the same thing for defining how many planets the star has. Okay, so for that I can say, for example, int min it's going to be this, int max is going to be this. So I can say min max probability curve is going to be, I have some curves saved in a library that I have, so I can say I think it's esings dot outsign. I think this one is going to be good. I could use like, oh yeah, that's fine, that's fine. So that and lemur. And oh yeah, this is not lemur, this is utilities.helpers.get probability. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, perfect. Perfect. So now every time we generate a new thing, we should be getting a lot of 3 and 4 planet stars. Okay, so to check this, I'm going to add a log here. I'm going to run this code like, oh yeah, I forgot about something, which is this, which is like sample count or something like that. And I'm going to set it to 100 because that's fine. So this code runs 100 times. That's the amount of samples it grabs from the curve, okay? And the amount of like numbers you put in the bucket I was explaining before. So let's oh my, give me one moment. The headphone cable gets stuck under the freaking chair. Oh man, I hate when that happens. I really hate when that happens, so that's why I always like move this cable up here or somewhere so that it doesn't get stuck in the wheel. Okay. So let's say again here we can say 100. And we're going to log this 100 times, okay? Which is going to be a number, and I want to see how many of each number comes out. Okay, that's the idea. Okay. Perfect. So let's see. Let's hit play. It should work. Let's hope it works because it could. Okay. Yeah, this is not working. What? What's happening? So, where's this planet's mean and planet's max? So this is a constant. This is 1. This is 4. Okay, so why is it not working? It's only like getting 1 and 2, which is really weird. It should be the other way around. And the curve that I'm using, let me show you. It's the curve I'm using. So it should be like 1 and 2 should be like the least amount of logs. And then 3 and 4 should have like a lot of logs. Oh my god, my cat threw something. I don't know what happened. Okay. So yeah, I don't know what's happening here, but let's check the. Here I have this scriptable object which contains all of these things, and what I'm using is basically outsign, which means that this should be the least probable thing. Then 2 should be like a bit more, and then 3 and 4 should get a lot of numbers in there. So there's a chance that this code is not great, but it should be. I don't know. So halfway, is this correct? Let me check something. So in the case of the constellation, is 3 is minimum and 7 is the maximum. So if I say 3 plus 7 divided by 2, that's halfway. Okay, that's correct. And 1 plus 4 is 5 divided by 2. That's going to be 2.5, but it's going to round it, whatever. And yeah, it should be... So round to end. Rounded to the nearest integer. So what happens when it is 0.5? There's no nearest because it's exactly like halfway, but whatever. Let's see what happens now. I'm going to run some tests and yeah, see what happens. 2, 1. I don't know what's happening here. Maybe I said it wrong in the here. Min max. It should be right. I don't know what's happening. Let's use another lemur. Let's use a random lemur so every time it's different. Let's see what's happening here. I think it should. It could be wrong. The formula could be wrong. Only 2. What the hell? Why is that not working? Doesn't make any sense, honestly. So let's revise this for a little bit. So normalized I is going to be I divided by 100. Oh yeah, this should be I divided by samples. Okay, that's good. Then values is going to be around to end. Okay, so lerp between min and max is going to be this, so value. Now probability curve, evaluate, normalized I. I'm going to print something here. I'm going to do some checks here. I'm going to do some checks. So, oh yeah, I should do this once. Also, I'm realizing that this is throwing like a lot of numbers. Oh, that's weird. Oh yeah, now I understand, because it does it every time, like one time for each planet. So instead of this, I should do this like in another place. So let's go here and just test this here. I'm going to use outside. And this is going to be between 1 and 4. Okay. So it's going to only run once. And now the thing is, I would like to log other things. So I'm just going to call it once. And here, I'm going to close this. And I'm going to log here the normalized I. Okay, it should go. It should go from 0 to 1 in like very linearly. That's the idea. So yeah, let's see what happens. Maybe that's not working fine, so yeah. Let's check it now. What? What the hell? Why is it 0? Yeah, but samples is 100. So what's happening? What's really happening? I'm also going to say... going to also say this if log. I'm going to delete this later, but for now 100 samples, and I'm going to see true here. So this one is the only one that's going to log stuff. Now the thing is, I don't understand why this is 0. So I think maybe this is because it should be like that. Oh, yeah. What? So I don't need to cast this. Yeah, that's what I should do. I should be a float so it can be divided. I think maybe that's the issue. I don't know. Let's check now. Because normalized I should go from 0 to 1, basically, throughout all of the for loop calls. So what the hell is happening now? Now it works. So you can see 0.01, 0.02, 0.03. So this is 100 times, okay? It logs, like, the samples are 100. So the for loop runs 100 times, and I divided by 100 is going to be like, yeah, 0.1. Oh, sorry, 1 divided by 100 is 0.01. So yeah, it gets all the way to 0.99. Okay, so that's perfect. That's perfect. So now it should work normally. So I should be able to now test this. Going to move this back to where it was, which was here. I'm going to do this and this, and I'm going to copy the same thing here. Okay. And now it should log the... I'm going to run it like 100 times. Well, in fact, I'm so dumb because I could do this. Let me Control C. I don't need to do it here. I should do it here instead. So I'm going to comment this. And now between 1 and 4, it should be logging the correct thing, okay? Which is, there should be like really few of the number 1, a little bit more of the number 2, a lot more of the number 3, and a lot of number 4, okay? Let's see if that's working. No. Oh my god. Oh yeah, because it's only once, and it can be 2, so yeah. If I run it like 100 times, out of 100 times it should log like whatever. Let's see. No, it's the same. What the hell? It's still not working properly. I don't know what's happening. Start again. I don't know why it's logging just 1 and 2. Now it's only 2. What the hell? Why? I don't know. So let's go back here and let's log step by step. So I know that normalized I is correct. Now let's see values. In fact, this is value, not values. So value what's happening here? So value is basically going to be linear again. Now evaluated I is going to log a lot more of. So yeah, let's see what this logs. Okay, going to go step by step to see if everything is doing the thing I'm thinking of, but should be doing. So let's test here. One. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Why is that like so little of 4? Why is that the case? I don't understand. Round to end, lerp between min and max with normalized I. I don't know what's happening. Let's go again, let's try again. Let's hit play. It's always with a random thing, right? Yeah. So this time, yeah, it's always the same, but why is it the case? Why is this the case? Outside. What happens if I say linear here? It shouldn't change anything here. Shouldn't change anything at all. Yeah, it didn't change anything. Okay, so out sign. I'm going to use in out sign, so it's more drastic. Okay. But between 1 and 4. Let's use one that's like a lot more. Let's use quart. Quart maybe is better for this. So, okay, so 100 samples and yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's happening here. Should it be floor to end, or maybe it should be seal to end? Maybe it should be seal to end. Let's check now. Let's hit play. I hate it when I get stuck with things like this, but it's whatever. So 1 is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, this is not what I would expect of this. I don't know what's happening. Maybe floor to end. I don't know. So floor to end is going to grab this, which it's basically going to go from 1. So yeah. So this is going to be that. Now I'm going to say rounded value. And I'm going to print value. And also rounded value. So let's see what's happening here with those. Okay. Let's see. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, okay. Now it's 2. Now it's 3. And there's no 4. So I think that's because it should be maybe. Oh yeah, there's something I'm doing wrong. I'm getting there. Okay. I don't know if this should be floor to end because it's never going to get. Yeah, I think that's the issue. So let's see what happens with round to end again. Let's see. So let's hit play. Let's see again what happens there. So 1, okay, this is 1 up to this point. Then this is 2. Oh. Now I understand. Oh my god, man. Now I understand what happens. Oh man, so let me just make it visual now so that I can understand, so that I can describe how this is behaving, because like it's behaving the way it should behave, but the thing is, okay, so this is what happened. What is happening? The for loop goes through all of this, okay? And I'm using like a function to round the number because it's I'm doing a lerp, okay? And the lerp is basically saying, okay, this is 0 and this is 1. And when I go through this set of numbers, I'm going to grab the number depending on how I round it. Okay, so all of the values that are in between this are going to be, of course, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and so on. Okay, so 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, blah blah blah. This is 0.5. What's happening here is that it depends on which function I use to round the number. Is that's going to define how many numbers are picked. Okay, so how many times this number gets picked, because if I use round to end, it means that that the number that's going to be picked on all of this up to here is going to be 1. This is with round to end. This is basically the closest, it rounds to the closest integer, which means if the number is between this, it's going to pick 1, but if it's between this, it's going to pick 2. But it's also going to pick 2 up until this point, okay? And it's also going to pick 3 up to this point, and then it's only going to pick 4 here on this chunk, okay? So so what should I use to make this even? that's the question, okay? So now, if I use, I think what I should use is floor to end, okay? If I use floor to end, okay. If I use floor, it's going to pick 1 on all of these numbers, okay? That are below 2. So this is going to be 1. All of these are going to be 2. And all of these are going to be 3. And there's no 4. That's the thing. So I basically have to use this, but I have to run like the actual thing. I have to run it one more time so it gets to the max number, because it's like the max is not included. That's the thing. So there's 2 options. One option is I always pass in max plus 1 because it's going to be exclusive. Like, that's one option. And the other option, is that I use floor. Well, I'm going to use floor anyways, but the other option is I fix the actual algorithm to do this automatically. And I don't really know how to do that right now because I don't want to start thinking about how I would do that. So I'm going to say floor to end, okay, everywhere. So floor to end, blah, blah, blah. And here I'm going to say max exclusive. That's it. Okay? So this should work right now. So if instead of saying 4 here, I say 5, now it should work. In fact, I'm going to comment this and I'm going to uncomment this. And if I go here and say 5, so the actual numbers are 1 for minimum and 4 to maximum. But max is exclusive, so I have to add 1. Okay. It's a little workaround that it's easy to do right now. So if I hit play, oh my god, it's still not working properly. Oh man, it's not working. So what's happening here, man? What the hell? Why is 2 the only answer? Let's see. Let's go here again and... Oh yeah, because I'm not using rounded value. I think that's the problem. Instead of using value, I should use rounded value. I think. Huh. Yeah. Is that fine? I think it's the same. I don't think it's like entry. Okay, let's hit play again. Let's see what happens now. Oh man, I'm so bad at math. We'll get there someday. So I didn't even log anything, so... Oh, because I'm not logging anything, that's why. So let's see, between 1 and 5, I'm using this as a curve. I'm going to use in-out quartz. In fact, let me just use linear. It should be linear. So let's see which numbers I'm getting from that. And yeah, so let's... Okay, it's 2. All the way through is 2. Why? Okay. It's always 2. So why it's always 2? Let's see. Let's continue trying to... I'm actually going to set the log again. If log, then debug.log. I'm going to check if this is actually working. So rounded value should go from min to max exclusive, which is max -1. So let's see what this is doing. It should log 1, 2, 3, 4 in like the same amount of times. Let's test again. Okay, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is actually good. Okay. So this is working. 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of those are being logged the same amount of times, which is 25. Okay. If I add, let's say I add like one more number. Let's say instead of 1 and 5, and say 1 and 11, so it's going to be between 1 and 10. It should log 10 times each one of the numbers. Okay, that's what should happen. So let's check it now. Perfect. So this is working perfectly. Now, what the hell is happening afterwards? So evaluated I is going to use the curve. So now I'm going to log the evaluated I. Let's see if this is working at all. So in here I'm using in-out quart. So there should be like the first value should be really close to 0, and then they should go really close to 1 quickly. So let's see. Let's log this. Okay, I think this is working fine. So you can see all of these values really close to 0. Okay, really close to 0. And then there should be one point where it goes really fast. Okay, all of these values are really going really fast towards 1. Well, they're not going that fast. So maybe I should use a different curve. Quart is this. Oh yeah, I should definitely use this one, for example. Yeah, let's use Expo. I think Expo is going to be much better for this. In-out Expo. So as you can see, like literally here in the curve, as you can see, it should be like very little very little probability for the first numbers to come out, because this is really low, and then it should go really fast to 100 probability. So that is what should happen, but maybe I'm doing this like the actual thing is not. Why am I doing this halfway thing? Rounded value halfway, remapped entry. Okay. Let's log this right now and see what happens. I'm running out of time. I should end the stream soon, so yeah. Okay, this one is much more extreme. So you can see all of these numbers are pretty close to zero. All of this close to zero, close. But then when it gets here into this section, you can see there's a few 0.2, a few 0.3, and then there's not even one 0.4. It goes straight up into 0.7, 8, and then 99999. Okay, so there's a lot of 0.9. And what this means is that all of these numbers are basically the probability for how much the number 1 and 2 are going to go out to appear. Okay, but now now what's happening here? Because halfway, so I want to understand what I'm doing here. So this is now I have the evaluated I. Okay, so what should I do with this? Okay, yeah, I understand what's happening. So what I don't understand is this halfway thing. I shouldn't be using that. I don't know why I did this. But let's see. So remapped entry is going from rounded value to halfway. Why? Why does it go to halfway? Doesn't make any sense. So it should go. I'm not going to use that at all. I'm going to use so let's see what happens. I think I can solve this really easily. So rounded value, okay, and this is the curve. Okay, value is going to be evaluated I, and now I just need to use rounded value. That's it. I think that's it. Because like what's happening here is I'm normalizing I so that it goes from 0 to 1 linearly within all of these loops. Then I evaluate the curve so that it gets all of the values from the curve using this value, this normalized value. And then the actual value that's going to be rounded at the end is going to go from min to max exclusive, and it's going to use the evaluated y, I, sorry, not y, it's evaluated I, and that's going to do it so so yeah, in this case, what should happen is I shouldn't use in out expo. I should use out expo. I think. Is that correct? Because what's happening here, let me think about this for a moment. So this number, depending on the curve, is going to go here. So depending on the curve, this is going to pick this is probability and this is amount. So so when this is that, so when this is close to this, Yeah, so when this is close to 0, it's going to go there, and when this is close to 1, it's going to go there. So yeah, that's correct. So that's why I should use out expo instead, and yeah, so let's go again here. Am I logging anything here? No. So I'm going to comment this and go again with this. So if it's linear, it should be linear, of course. So it should grab like all of the numbers in an equal like amounts, like it happened before. Okay, so that should happen, please. Okay, now it's not working. So 1, a lot of times, and then 2. I don't know what's happening. So linear is this, which is perfectly linear. So what the hell? Rounded value is going to use this. Okay, so let's yeah, I don't understand what's happening. It's like it's not even getting to this value. I don't know why. It's really weird. So I'm just going to log everything. This should be really straightforward, but I'm not being able to do it. Normalized I, evaluated Y. I don't know why I say Y, because it's I. Then value, and then rounded value. Okay, I'm going to log everything, literally. So let's see what happens now. I'm going to add like a, yeah, I don't know if that works. So let's just do this. Oh, this is really dumb. If I don't fix it now, I'm going to try to fix it as soon as I can, because I don't want to be also next stream stuck in the same dumb thing. So yeah. Now here I should be commenting this, and I go here. Okay. So let's hit play now and let's see what happens. So normalized I got busy, so we had a problem. Oh yeah, so this formula I'm using for calculating the probability, which is this. Okay, so I was explaining that I want to use this probability curve so that I can define like the amount of planets that can be in a star, which are between 1 and 4, okay? But I don't want this to be completely random. I want to use a curve to determine the probability, okay? The chances. And this is basically saying, okay, so 1 is going to be less likely, then 2 is going to be a little bit more likely to appear, and then 3 and 4 should be the most common amount of planets in a star. So you would find the norm, the common thing will be to find stars that have like 3 and 4 planets, and for example a star that has only 1 planet is really hard to find. So this is what I'm trying to do, and I have the code here and I'm trying to debug what's happening because I don't really know. Like, I've been debugging every line and everything is doing what I think it should do. but then the numbers that are getting logged don't make a lot of sense. So yeah. Oh yeah, the other thing I'm thinking about is that I could be really dumb, and also, can you really easily zoom the IDE font? Oh yeah, of course. So I should do this. Let me know if you can read it better there. So ignore this. I will go through the whole code to explain what's happening. So I create a list that is going to contain numbers, okay? And then I go through a for loop with a predefined amount of times, which is 100 here. And then what's happening is this. I'm normalizing, I'm grabbing a value that's normalized between 0 and 1, so that when going through the for loop, this value is going to go, like I said, from 0 to 1 in a linear way. But then I'm using the probability curve and evaluate. This is basically making the actual value use like have the references of the actual curve. Okay, so when I'm going through this way and I'm getting the values depending on the point of time I am. Okay, so this is a basic curve thing. And then what I'm doing is lerping between minimum and maximum exclusive. This is because I'm rounding downwards. And I'm using this, the value that's being influenced by the curve as the t value in the lerp. Okay, so that's going to define that when this value is close to 0, it's going to be this value, and when this value is closer to 1, it's going towards this value. That's what a lerp does. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. Then I'm rounding the value. That's why I'm using max exclusive. So if I want to go between 1 and 4, I set 5 as the max, because this is going to round downwards. And then I'm adding all of the items to a list. Okay, so now what's happening is that this is logging a lot of 1 and 2. I don't know why. It should be logging a lot of more like 3 and 4. So now the thing is, I want to log all of this. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to log only the rounded value. I want to try this. And yeah, basically this should give me like, if I'm using this curve, it should give me like not a lot of 1, not a lot of 2s, but yes, a lot of 3 and 4. Print the dictionary, yeah. Count them with a dictionary, yeah. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to log them before I even add them to the list, because what I'm actually logging afterwards is basically the random number that's here. Okay. So yeah. So I think this is correct, but I don't know. Maybe there's something that I could be doing wrong. I'm going to set this back to the normal zoom. You're adding 100 items to the list. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what I explained before. So let me just explain the logic. It's a pretty basic concept. So you have a bucket, okay? This is the list. And then I have entries, okay? And the entries are going to be the actual numbers. So what I'm doing is saying, okay, so I want 4 to have like a lot of probability. So I'm going to add a lot of 4s in the bucket, then a lot of 3s in the bucket too, but maybe a few 2 and just one number 1. So then you grab the bucket and you shake it, okay? And when you, yeah, exactly. So when you grab a number from here, when you grab an entry from the bucket, it's more likely that you're going to get a 3 or a 4 just because there are more entries of those two. So that's what I'm doing. That's the whole logic I'm using for this system. But the values put in are wrong. Why is that? What values are wrong? Where am I trying to? Oh yeah, so here. So you can see here, I'm using 1 as the minimum and 5 as the maximum, exclusive, because it's in reality is going to be 4. It's between 1 and 4. I'm using this curve, and well, I'm setting the lemma so it has a random system, and I'm doing 100 samples. Okay, so I have 100 entries, and what I want is that from those 100 entries, like maybe 10 are number 1, then 20 are number 2, then 30 something are number 3, and 30 something again are number 4. Okay, that's what I want to be logged here. But I was logging I was not logging correctly, I think. Okay, so you can see here, why is there 5 too? That's weird. It shouldn't be appearing here, but it's kind of working, you can see. So kind of, because you can see that there's a few 1, yeah, rounding. So are you saying that I'm rounding incorrectly? There's a few 1, a few 2, a little bit more 3, and then a lot of 4s. And the curve I'm using is out expo, which is this one. So yeah, I might be doing the rounding wrong. I don't know. What am I doing wrong here? Check how it rounds. So here's where I'm rounding. Here's where I'm rounding. Floor to int is basically rounding. No, it's the other way around. It's going downwards. So when I do floor to int, it is whatever number is above 4 and below 5 is going to go to 4. So that's what should be happening. In fact, I'm going to do something here. I'm going to set linear. So there's no curve modifying the thing. So let's see now what happens. And I should go soon. I want to fix this, but yeah, I don't know if I will be able to. Okay, yeah, you can see here, it's perfect. This is linear, so you can see this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and all of those, each one, well, maybe you can't see because of the resolution, but each one of those is 25, which is perfect because this is completely linear. But when I use like a curve, it gets weird. I don't know why. So for example, let's see here. Is this curve going above 1? Yeah, it is actually. That's not good. It should be yeah, it's not good that this goes past the value of 1. So yeah, now it's better. So it shouldn't go above 1. But let's use here in out expo. So that should be a better thing to use. Check Discord. Okay, let me see. Let me check Discord. Floor to end. Okay. Yeah, so it rounds to the number that's below. So I'm not using negative numbers, so this doesn't matter. Let me zoom in so you can see better. So this makes sense because, of course, this goes below 0 and whatever. But here, this is what I'm using. So basically, oh, I have a drawing here. So let me show you. I was talking about this just a minute ago. So these are the values. You can see here, this is 1, 2, 3, and 4, okay? And what's happening here is all of the values between 1 and 2, if I floor, then whatever value is this below 2 is going to go to 1. So all of this is going to be 1. All of this is going to be 2. All of this is going to be 3. Okay? And it never gets to 4. That's why I set it to be like max plus 1. In fact, I could do that in the actual code. And instead of passing like so down, I could say max. And instead of doing that, I can say max plus 1. It's much easier. So yeah, that's what I want, basically. And this is kind of doing it. So you can see here, when I use a linear curve, it's doing the right thing. It's distributing the numbers perfectly. But when I use a different curve, it doesn't work as expected. So maybe it's because I wasn't using the correct curve. That could be the case. So let's see what happens. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, that's perfect. So that's perfect for the kind of curve I'm using. Yeah, I think it's working great. So if now I say out expo, now that I fixed the actual curve, it should work perfectly. So we should see a few. Yeah, so here I was using this curve, which means that all of this is going to be 1 and 2, and then it basically jumps straight into 3 and 4. So you can see like 1 says 50, 2 and 3 says 4 and 3, and then 4 says 43. So there's a lot of 1 and a lot of 4. And that's correct because this curve is for that. But now I'm going to use this one, which should be a few 1, a little more 2, and then a lot of 3 and 4. That's what should happen. Let's see if that's the case. I'm going to hit play, and maybe I should change the curve actually. So yeah. Okay. So yeah, this is correct too. You can see like there's 4 number 1, then there's 4 number 2, there's 6 number 3, and there's 86 number 4. Okay, so that's correct. Now if I, instead of using out expo, I use something like out quad, I don't know, now I should get a little more of 3 and 2. Okay, let's check that. I'm going to check this. I'm going to test generating some stars, and I'm going to end the stream. Okay, so yeah, this is working. So we have 13 number 1, 14 number 2, 18 number 3, and 55 number 4. That's perfect. So I'm using quad. I think I should be using the next one, which is quart. So I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to use out quart. Okay. and we should be good to go. Let's see, play. Okay. So now we have 11 number 1, 11 number 2, 13 number 3, and 65 number 4. So that's a bit better. Then I could use Quint, and I think that's the one that I'm going to be using. Now this one is also going past. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, so I'm going to try one more time using out Quint. And that's gonna be it. I'm going to choose one of those two. I don't even need to be using those curves. Like, I could define myself a curve if I want to, but I want to use that because it's the most convenient. So yeah, you can see here. There's a lot of chance for like 4. There's a little less chance for 3. And there for 1 and 2, there's a few chances. So that's perfect. I'm just going to use that. And now we should be good to go. So I'm generating here. Instead of outside, I'm going to use out Quint. Okay. And I'm going to go here. I'm going to stop logging stuff. I'm going to remove that. Okay. And now we should be able to just hit play and see here in the minimap. We should see different amount of planets every time. Okay, so if well, I should add a key to restart the scene, I think, or yeah, I don't know. Whatever, I'm just going to hit play every time. That's it. So now let's see. We should get like 4 planet. Yeah, okay, 4 planets. Okay, perfect. See again. Okay, 4 planets again. You see the positions, some of them are like kind of overlapping and there's not a lot of things here. So I could improve that to say, okay, the idea is that they cover some spaces, but I think the fun thing is that they can be wherever they want. Or again, so there's going to be a lot of 4 planet stars. And then it's going to be really, really rare for 3 or 2 stars. Sorry, 2 or 1 star planet stars. That is why they need to move. Yeah, so maybe they could move so they don't look weird here in the minimap. So yeah, we're getting 4 planets every time. Maybe I could like use another curve, but at some point we should get okay, we got a 3. Okay. That's amazing. It's really good. So I like the fact that when you find a star that has only 1 planet, it's really interesting. And I could also make it so that, for example, stars that have only 1 planet are like abandoned stars, for example. And the planet is like, I don't know, maybe corrupted, or I don't know. We could do a lot of things. That sounds fun, I think. So then when you find a star and say, oh, it only has 1 planet, and it like encourages you to go explore it, to see what that planet has and what else is in space. So yeah, we can see here there's a lot of stars that contain 4 planets, and that's going to be the most common thing, so that's great. It's amazing, it's amazing. Okay. Okay, it's perfect. So now that this is working, there's a couple things we have to do. Okay, so let me hit play and I'm going to show you the thing. Okay, so thing number one is something that has to do with the orbits themselves. So I should have a script that controls the orbits and the planets and blah blah. So I should create a script that controls the orbits, okay, that handles the orbits, so that when, for example, like you said, if we check the Y position of the planets, it should be positioned so that the planets, like for example, let me show you something really quick. Planets should go like outside of the actual of this object, okay, so that they can be they should always be above the orbits, okay, visually here. They shouldn't be like never behind the orbits, the sprite, okay. That's thing number one. But also what happens if I can't move it. So also when we check the Y position, the higher it is, it should be behind, okay. So the higher it is, the higher it is in the layers here. So the Y value of the position is going to determine where the planet is in the layers, in the sorting layers, okay. So for example, this is how they should be rendered here, okay. So first this one, then this one, this one is going to be, this one is above that one, and then this one is above this one, and then this one is above the other one, okay. So that's how they should be rendered. So yeah, that's basically what I need to do. One of the things I need to do is that. Okay, and so it's not like a huge issue because they are the same color, and you can't really tell like if one is on top of the other, like you can't really tell. But like I don't know, maybe we use like different shades for planets that are closer or farther away. So that could be something we do. Okay, and this one would be the lightest color. So something like this, for example, we could do that. And that actually is interesting. That could be interesting. So yeah, we could definitely do that. So that's one of the things. I'm going to add this. Okay. And this should be like a sub thing for this. Okay, so I would say sort planet sprites according to their Y position, and then after I complete the planetary system map, okay, after that I have to track the player's position. Okay, after that I should position actual planets in space according to their position in orbit. According to their orbit and position in orbit, because I have to also determine like each planet should determine which orbit they are on. So they could be like in orbit, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Because each orbit is this basically. This is orbit 1, this is orbit 2, this is 3, and this is 4. So that's how far away they are from the stars. Okay. So yeah, that's great. Okay. Okay. Okay, amazing. So we basically finished the thing, this formula, so we can use it whatever we want. That's amazing, because I'm going to be using this probability thing for a lot of things that get generated randomly, okay, procedurally. So that's amazing. So that's going to be the stream, okay? Okay, so that's going to be the stream for today. I really have to go now, okay? So that being said, thank you very much for watching, everyone. No, sadly, I won't be able to stream tomorrow. I would like to, but I will not be able to stream. So it's going to be on Monday. On Monday, I'm going to be live. So that's going to be my next stream. We're going to continue with this. I'm really motivated. So I would like to work on this every day, but it's not possible. So yeah. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Ciala, for helping as always. You're very kind. And thank you to everyone that chatted and that checked out the stream. And thank you very much for the new follows too. Thank you. What's the name? Kilo 000. Thank you, Hailey Neg, and thank you, Nivo. Thank you guys for following. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the support. And okay, so don't forget to join the Discord, as always. If you join the Discord, you can get notified when I go live, because I send a message there and notify everyone, okay? So that you can know when I'm live and streaming. And you can also share stuff with me, whatever you would like. I also sometimes share stuff like drawings or sketches or stuff like that I do when I'm not streaming. So that's great. I realized today that I could have sent the art in art feedbacks. I could have sent the art in art feedbacks. Oh yeah, so I didn't realize you wanted feedback for that. So since you shared it in the art channel, I thought you were just showing it and that's it. That's really cool. I really like it. I didn't know you were doing 3D stuff. That's amazing. It's so cool. So yeah, if you want a feedback for that, yeah, sure, send it in the art feedback channel. So yeah, that's pretty much the stream for today. Thank you very much, everyone. Join the Discord, and I'm going to see you in the next stream, which is going to be on Monday, okay? See you on Monday. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.